Hello friends and a very warm welcome to this latest episode of World Cricket Chat. Suneer Chowdhary here as always, and as always I have the girl from London, Shruti Chopra, at the other end of this line, who probably thinks that was England's greatest victory against Bangladesh in the first test match in recent times. Don't you, Shruti?
It was a good test to watch for sure. Greatest victory? I'll give that in the hope that they've reached potential so that they don't get close to beating India. Okay, now in all seriousness, let's get on. Suneer, despite that defeat, Bangladesh can be mighty chuffed with how they played in that opener against a side that has been amongst the top 3 test teams in the world over the last few years.
It was a hard-fought showing from Bangladesh, no doubting that. One that should hold them in a good stead come the second test match and the rest of the year after this. What they'll now want to do is to double it up with another performance in Dhaka of note that could help their test cricket follow the same direction their ODI cricket has taken. And we know that what their ODI cricket has been over the last 18 months or so, having beaten a lot of teams like India, Pakistan, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Afghanistan, and narrowly losing to England in the ODI series just before these 2 test matches. Debutant Mehdi Hassan 6 for Tamim Iqbal's confidence oozing batting in the first innings made for great viewing, while Shakib Al Hasan's 5 wickets in the second innings was followed by another debutant, Sabir Rahman's nearly match-winning 50, and these were big ticks in their boxes, and I think they have ample of positives to take from this opening test match, Shruti.
What can Bangladesh do differently in this game to try and level the series?
Well, it was interesting to see Robert Key and Michael Atherton get a sneak peek at the Dhaka pitch through their Sky Sports duties, where this second test match is going to be played. And according to them, that surface looks a lot drier than the one that was on show in Chittagong. This is 2 days before the test match we're talking about, which essentially means that 2 more days of getting baked under the sun if it gets uncovered even for a short while, which usually happens, which in turn means that the pitch will be spin friendly, more spin friendly probably than what we saw in Chittagong from the very first day. Looks like Bangladesh are leaving no stones unturned with respect to the pitch, at least. Sabir has suffered an illness, so he might be missing out, which is a big blow given his experience in one-day cricket and the way he played in that test match, while fast bowler Shafiul Islam is apparently tired after playing a test match, which is a bit of a surprise for me. So those are the 2 changes to the squad that Bangladesh could be looking to make. I don't think Bangladesh need a second seamer, very frankly, in these conditions. They could look to go for an extra batsman who can bowl a little, in fact, someone like a Shuvagata Hom to bolster that lower middle order and provide a bit of a break to the frontline bowlers. So that's the one change I would probably advocate, Shruti. Shruti, what do the cards say about Bangladesh?
Suneer, according to the cards, Bangladesh may come out aggressively as if they have a point to prove. So what such an attitude will do is overshadow their potential. They really do need to just allow themselves to adjust to the conditions as well, especially with their batting in the first innings, which doesn't seem to do too well at all. Instead, it'll be the lower order that will be left to pick up the pieces. On the other hand, bowling will be a lot better. It'll be better planned and executed.
So that's the first innings you're talking about. How will the second innings go according to you?
A lot more promise for sure. The batsmen will show so much more application. They'll probably kick themselves from not playing like this in the first innings. Bowling again does a fairly good job at first, but some wayward bowling a little later and possible fielding lapses could undo a lot of hard work. Now, moving on to England, were you satisfied with what you saw?
What satisfied me most was the engrossing, gripping test match that was on display and the pitch on which it was played. I think we need a lot more pitches like those. We need a lot more test matches like those. As far as England are concerned, one positive they would have taken from that game was the nature of their win, which was not only a hard-fought one in these conditions which are alien to them, but it was also not reliant on someone like an Alistair Cook or Joe Root and their batting. There was no James Anderson either, which meant Moeen Ali and Ben Stokes with some help from Johnny Bairstow with the bat were the cornerstone of that English victory. Good signs for them, given what's to follow this Indian winter.
Now, England are rumoured to be making a few changes to their lineup for this second test. What do you make of that?
Yes, Stuart Broad, Chris Wokes, and Gareth Batty, three bowlers from the first Test match, are expected to miss out as a part of an English rotation policy. Well, two ways of looking at it, isn't it? The selectors and the team management want to look at the bigger picture, and there's a tour of India coming up, which is the bigger picture that I'm talking about. And to an extent, they would want to use these two Test matches against Bangladesh in similar conditions as practice for that five-match series against India. And they are doing that by getting all their bowlers involved and resting some of them who might need to play most part of that India series. Stuart Broad might be playing in almost all Test matches, so he needs to be rested before that big one. On the other hand, I wonder what the Bangladeshi side must be feeling about the reasons behind resting a few of the English main players. Knowing the passion that can be evoked from them, wouldn't be surprised if this pinches them too, and they come out fighting harder and make life even tougher for England. So that's the one thing that the one factor that England might want to worry about. This also reminds me of an incident that happened in the 1999 World Cup. Not quite the same. It was a match between Pakistan and England and India, in fact. And Wasim Akram at the toss had said that Pakistan would be using that match as a practice match, and that had not gone down too well with the experts and the fans. So England might not want to give that kind of an impression when they're playing against a passionate side like Bangladesh. But moving on, Shruti, your call on whether England will be able to continue with their winning momentum?
Well, England grow from strength to strength during the course of this match. It certainly gives them the confidence to go all out and push for a win, but glitches will always be there, and one of the major ones could be their bowling in the second innings. It may give the Bangladesh batsmen a little too much leeway.
Are you trying to say that everything else would work out well for England?
Yes, it should. In fact, their batting, bowling, and fielding in the first innings would have done pretty much most of the hard work. The second innings will mainly be about crossing the T's and dotting the I's. I know I make it sound all too easy. It won't be, but England may just make it look that way.
Well, Shruti, for a change, you go first with your prediction. What do you think will happen in this Test match?
Okay, now before I do that, a request to all our listeners, please click on the red subscribe button below and do also follow us on Twitter at World Crick Chat. All the details are in the description box below. Now, my prediction. The cards go with the team that evolves and adapts better. So it's Taro advantage England. Now, what about you? Do you agree?
I do think England will start favourites. They are the more experienced side. They have won more Test matches from situations where they have been in a spot of bother. But I also think that given the kind of pitch, given the kind of opposition they are up against, and given the kind of spin quality that Bangladesh have, the team batting first could have an advantage here. So I will go with the team that wins the toss and undoubtedly would want to bat first on this pitch, Shruti.
Great, so we'll know which side we're on as soon as the toss has happened. That's it for today. We'll be back super soon. Until then, do subscribe and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.